Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Our Shared Experience. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to kick the episode off with a little bit of a physical experiment slash exercise. So if you're not sitting, this isn't going to work for you. You could do the opposite of what I'm saying, as long as you're not driving in a car or something right now, and you're in a safe place, do what I say. All right, here we go. So if you're sitting, just stand up. Okay. Now that you're standing, I can have you sit back down. And you know what? Actually, do me a favor. Let's have you stand back up. Okay, now sit back down. All right, and that's, actually one more time, I'm going to have you stand up and sit back down. Now, a lot of you might be at home and you either didn't even stand back up the second time, or you were very reluctant to stand up the second and or third time. And if you were already standing or walking somewhere, maybe you stopped and sat down for me. But I saw this the other day on one of the social media platforms, and what the guy was talking about really struck a chord with me. And I think it's something that definitely is going to change the way you perceive life and the way you've been going about things. And that particular thing is, the idea here is taking someone who is comfortable sitting, doing whatever you're doing, and disrupting your activity or comfort by making you do the opposite of that thing. So if you just stood up the first time, maybe you were like, okay, I guess I'll stand up. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're just sitting there listening and you're like, let me hear what he has to say before I do anything. And if that's you, then this definitely applies. So one of the big things we do in life is we get comfortable. We get comfortable with our routine, our daily activities, where we are in life, our financial income, and our lifestyle. And this applies for many things. This applies for people who are making minimum wage, and it also applies for people who are making millions of dollars. We get caught and stuck in a lifestyle, and that particular thought process of being where we are is where we're comfortable. So today is all about, I'm gonna call it disrupting your daily routine. All right, it's all about disruption. And I think if you get comfortable with the idea of not being comfortable, right? You talk about all these exercises like people who take cold showers every morning. I personally have been stepping into that. I thought it was the worst idea ever. And I'm having a really fun time after my steam sauna. I used to just, wash off, take a shower. Instead, I'm actually doing the soap and everything while the steam's still in there. And then I crank it to as cold as my shower can get, and I turn the water on. And I'm doing two things there. One, there's this constant, every single morning, this little bit of a battle with myself that's like, yeah, maybe just do warm today. It's not, you've been doing it, it's fine. So it's breaking past that, stepping into the discomfort, and not just doing that, but also me right now, I'm really working on this like weird mental game where I'm, it's almost like the people that walk on coal. I'm seeing if I can release the idea of what cold is to my body and just feel the water. So naturally, when we turn cold water on and we jump into an ice plunge or something like that, our breath goes away, our muscles cramp, we tense, our heart rate changes. We have to then work through our breathing. So what I'm doing right now is trying to, when I actually turn the water on, and it's weird because I try to surprise myself, I'll just do a breathing exercise and then turn it on when I least expect it, or if I'm like, all right, I'm about ready, and then I just rip it on real quick, so that I feel I want to try to imitate that shock factor. And at the same time, I'm trying to trick myself. I'm also then breathing into it and trying to see if I can. And this morning was a beautiful one where my shoulders didn't tense up. I didn't do anything. It hit me, and I felt the freezing cold water kind of running through my body. And the way that I'm trying to relate it right now is like, can I pretend that it's warm water? Because the sensation of warm water is very comforting, right? You feel the water start to warm your body and come over your skin, and it's quite nice. So why can't cold water feel that same way? It's because I have an initial reaction to it, because I've programmed myself to, oh, it's cold, I need to shock factor, I need to tense up, I need to get out, and it's probably some really natural defense mechanism, right? Where our bodies are trying to stay heated and protect ourselves, keep us alive. But the mind is definitely stronger than the body, and as long as we can tune into that, then we can be comfortable in what should have been discomfort. So that's what this is all about, is figuring out if we can become comfortable, if we can train ourselves, not trick ourselves, train ourselves to become comfortable in a situation that should be uncomfortable. And a lot of people do this with socially. You're not comfortable talking to people, introducing yourself, and the more you throw yourself into the mix of that thing, the more you're not afraid of it, the more the discomfort, the fears, all these things start to wash away. And that same concept can be applied to the idea, I've said it before, fail fast, right? Do something, put yourself out there, show a friend whatever you're working on, or try acting, or do whatever it is that you want, and fail at it, because the more you start to fail, the more comfortable you get with it. And this even goes for if you're relating this back to parkour or action sports or movement. The more you fall, the more you're comfortable with falling. The less you fear falling, the more comfortable you are doing tricks that may result in a fall, because now you're no longer afraid of crashing or rolling or having to save yourself, because you've done it enough times to know how to get out of it safely. So that fear starts to wash away. So this isn't so much about that. This cast is all about how do we disrupt our own lives, right? If we're working that 9 to 5, if I have a buddy in New York who is an incredible sound engineer. Went to school, he's always loved music, incredible singer. I actually was the manager of their band. It was a band called Straight Through. I don't know if you could still find things online. I'm sure you can. One of my favorite bands in the world. And they were all such incredibly talented athletes, and probably still are. But my friend Jay, he was like, I'm going to go to school for sound engineering. And he went to school, crushed it, ended up first in his class. The school offered him a job teaching before he even left. And then he went back to New York and continued to work at his day job, which is working at a paint store. He recently just moved to New Jersey, finally left Long Island, stepped out of his discomfort a little, but then right back into working for that same company in a different place. And there's so much in my heart that hurts for the people that aren't willing to live their passions, the things they're incredible at, finding those dreams and making them a reality, and not just living and letting it live in the dream state, but risking their shame and embarrassment and comfort by going for the goal. And it's hard for me to watch. And he's someone that I'm constantly, every time I get on the phone, I try to amp him back up. I try to get him going again, because I believe so much in him. But if he is, and it might not even be that he doesn't believe in himself, because he has to know how talented he is, but I think it's just more of a comfort thing, right? Is we get really comfortable with the idea of maintaining where we're at. And sometimes when we go for our dreams and we risk our comfort, we actually are risking the idea of dipping below that level. But the reality is, a lot of entrepreneurial life and chasing your dreams looks like this. It's like this up and down curve where you're riding this little bit of a roller coaster, and at first, you're for sure going to dip below. And I'll tell you guys right now, this is something I don't talk about very often, but it's definitely a very powerful and serious thing. When I first got to LA, at some point, I was $30,000 in debt. I got a credit card. I was chasing dreams. I would go above. Oh man, I booked a commercial. Oh, cool. And then it would dip below. And I just believed so much in the fact that I could come back from that my passion and drive is there enough that I was okay being uncomfortable. And if you talk to many of the successful people that I know, or even throughout the world, I think one of the most shared, it's probably the most shared factor between us all is that we are okay with being uncomfortable. And, and being, relaxing into the discomfort is actually probably the most powerful tool you can have as someone who wants to chase their dreams. And it's not being okay with it, right? It's not like, okay, well, I'm broke. It's like hunger to not be broke. It's hunger to get out of the discomfort, to fight past it and get yourself to the place where you can envision your life and your goals and all of that coming true. So I'm gonna let you sit on that. Really think about it today in your day is what am I doing? Am I watching TV today? Am I going to a fast food restaurant because I don't want to go cook and ruin a meal? Or I don't know, there's so many daily things that can feel like discomfort. And for me right now, it's like, am I pushing things far enough? Is this podcast, is this video that I'm putting on YouTube, is this developed enough? Am I thinking enough about each episode? Am I getting comfortable just coming in here and talking without doing the research that might help you guys more and help me, obviously, because the more I develop this, the more it's gonna aid in my future and who I am and my intelligence and all these different things. So I need to question, throughout my day, what am I getting comfortable with? And maybe it's as simple as just, oh, my son River woke up this morning and we played on his mat that he played on yesterday, and it's he's had it for like 3 days, so it's still kind of new to him. So I'm like sitting back, drinking my coffee, and letting him just kind of explore it and play. And then there's a part of me that's like, oh, as a father, should I take him outside, or should I get some water or color or paint or something and create this new experience for him so his brain can develop and grow? Or am I just getting comfortable with just like, oh, finally I get a moment and let me just let him relax and play? And really I'm saying, let me just relax for a moment. So there's so many little things you can apply it to, and I urge you guys to look at your day and just see if you can find one thing that you're getting comfortable with, and allow that, and see if you can change that thing. And maybe it's something broken in your car, a button, a piece of fabric hanging down, maybe it's something in your house, a dirty light switch or whatever it is. And just change that thing. Fix it today. Go beyond your average and see if you can just change one element of your day. And I think by doing that enough times throughout the day and then into this week and then into your month, you could dramatically change your life. So let me know in the comment section below, if you're watching this on YouTube, what are your dreams and aspirations? Write it down, get it out, put it out there in the world so that I can see it, and more importantly, you can see it, and we can really have a discussion about how you can step into the discomfort and change your life, whether that's quitting your day job, maybe it's that big of a step, or it's starting your side hustle while you're still working your day job to really get that thing going and add that extra little bit to disrupt your own life and step into the new you. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you're listening to this on any of the major podcast platforms, I would love for you to share a review, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button as well as the notifications so you guys can get notified when the newest episodes come out. Right now, I'm dropping a new episode, I believe, every Sunday and Thursday. So keep your eyes out for that. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and peace out.